KidNuz fans, did you know there's a way to hear the news without hearing ads? Parents and teachers can subscribe to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts to not only ditch the commercials, but also unlock access to future bonus episodes and other exclusives from the Starglow Media Network. That means ad-free listening of KidNuz every weekday, plus ad-free episodes of Mysteries About True Histories for riddle-obsessed adventurers, Girl Tales for a fun spin on fairy tales, Musicland Stories to help young music lovers catch the beat, and audiobooks adapted for young listeners with classic titles, including Little Women and Moby Dick. Visit starglowmedia.com/subscribe to sign up for Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen. That's starglowmedia.com/subscribe. Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, also known as May Day. And we begin with a toothy social media celebrity missing. Wally the alligator is a 4-foot-long emotional support animal that visits nursing homes, baseball games, and parks throughout Pennsylvania. He was also in the running to be America's favorite pet, but a week ago he vanished from a secure enclosure in Georgia while on vacation with his owner, Joey Henney. Wally has been in the care of humans since he was 1 and will not survive in the wild. A desperate search is underway with reports suggesting that someone intentionally gator-napped him to scare a neighbor. Then that neighbor called trappers who took him to a nearby swamp. As of this recording, he hasn't been found. Wally's human is heartbroken and is asking for his pet to be returned, no questions asked. A Facebook page is following the search, and donations are pouring in to help with his recovery and a reward. Graduations in the U.S. are getting caught in the political crosshairs of the Israel-Hamas war. Demonstrations by pro-Palestinian students are forcing college administrators to rethink upcoming ceremonies. USC has already canceled its main event, while other schools debate how best to balance the free speech of activists with the safety of Jewish students and the influx of families arriving for commencement. Among them is Columbia University in New York City, where a building that was occupied by Vietnam War protesters back in 1968 is occupied again. Campus was mostly shut down yesterday, and the school is threatening to expel those involved. Tulane, UCLA, UNC Chapel Hill, Northeastern, Cal Poly Humboldt, UT Austin, and Portland State are also grappling with protests. King Charles is back in the public eye. Yesterday, the reigning royal paid a visit to a London cancer hospital to meet with patients and doctors to raise awareness about the importance of early detection and treatment. The king is battling cancer himself, and this was his first official outing in about 3 months. If someone built a replica of the Titanic, would anyone climb aboard? An Australian billionaire thinks so and is moving ahead with plans for Titanic 2. Clive Palmer is getting estimates and plans to confirm a shipbuilder by the end of the year. The new Titanic will reportedly look just like the old one, but be slightly wider, and Mr. Palmer promises a whole lot more buoyant. According to CNN, passengers will be encouraged to dress for the 1900s, but doing so will be optional. The Titanic sank after hitting an iceberg off Newfoundland in 1912. Why revisit that tragedy? The billionaire believes millions have dreamt of sailing on her, seeing her in port, and experiencing her unique majesty. Plus, he says, the project is a lot more fun than sitting home counting his money. In KidNuz sports notes, LeBron's future is fuzzy. The King and his LA Lakers are now out of the postseason after buckling to the Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs. When asked if he had just played his last game in a purple and gold jersey, he said, "I'm not going to answer that," then put down the mic and walked away. LeBron is 39, a 4-time NBA champion, and the league's all-time leading scorer. 3-time Super Bowl champ Travis Kelce is now the highest-paid tight end in the NFL. Announcing his new deal with the Chiefs on X, he posted, "Feels good to be in KC. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I can't wait to get after it." His new contract runs through 2027. And Caitlin Clark gets asked to sign lots of things, but this is a first. While in the stands for a Pacers game last week, someone asked for her signature on an ultrasound picture of their baby. Proof, it seems, that the basketball phenom is collecting fans even before they're born. Caitlin's NBA debut is May 14th when her Indiana Fever travel to Connecticut for the regular season opener. Still to come, Marty from Madagascar would be proud how some escapees turned a Washington state highway into the Serengeti. But first, today's quiz. What's the name of the emotional support gator missing in Georgia? Wally. Which school has canceled its main graduation ceremony due to pro-Palestinian protests? USC. An Australian billionaire is building what? A new Titanic. Caitlin Clark was asked to sign her name to what? An ultrasound picture. And today's Kid News kicker.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it.
Marty from Madagascar wasn't there, but 4 other zebras were, and they turned a Washington state highway into an African safari. According to police, the quartet of zebras was being hauled to Montana when the driver stopped to secure the latch on the trailer. That brief break gave those wild and crazy animals the opening they needed to break free and take off. Dozens of passers-by stopped to help, including a retired rodeo clown. As Dave Danton told the New York Times, he knew what to do, even though no one ever gets trained in zebra wrangling. 3 of the black and whites were corralled pretty quickly, but as of this recording, the 4th is still on the lam. Before we go, we want to shout out our Kid News teachers, including Ms. Morales and her Eagles at Mountain View in Rockingham, Virginia. Mrs. Nye and her Thunder listening all the way from Concordia International in Hanoi, Vietnam. And Mrs. DeSoto and her Huskies at Hicks Canyon in Irvine, California. Thanks for listening. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to help Kid News stay on the air 5 days a week. And we'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.